Knock!
The Battle of the Bastards, which we call Bob, is a battle.
Draw!
And there's no escaping it's a battle.
You wanna fight? You!
Game of Thrones is so big and it's so ambitious, you have to not be intimidated by it, but you have to embrace it. Say, great, you know, why don't we go make a massive, huge, enormous battle that's bigger than anything that we've ever done? We had a lot less time to prep this than we had to prep Hardhome. It was bigger and more complex. Dan and David, they wanted spectacle. They really wanted to kind of get into the mindset of what it would be like to be in a battle like that. So I was looking for what's the thread, what's the thing that's going to take me through the battle, and what worked in Hardhome, I think what works in any battle is following the characters. Initially, the idea was to almost never leave John's side, ever. And that's how the One Other was born, out of this idea of what happens if you just stay on the ground with John. We had a shot which was a minute long of him as if he was in the middle of a busy intersection, having horses hurling left, right and centre at him, and the chaos that ensues. With Rowley, the stunt coordinator, his specialty is horses. Ultimately, you can't run two horses into each other, so it became about marrying real horse falls with the digital world so that we could have a real horse take a fall and then we could digitally superimpose a CGI horse that would seem to hit the real horse. So you basically then take the eye away from the digital horse, focus it on the real horse, and you blur the line between what's real and what's not real. Rowley is also a very integral part of the team. He can get on set and make stuff up on the spot without any real rehearsal for it and put pieces together and get his guys. He's got a team of, about 40 core guys who are there again and again and again. And, if you look closely, you'll see the same guys being killed again and again and again. I was interested in trying to present war not as glorious, just horrible. From day one, Dan and David wanted this pile of bodies based on the Battle of Angkor. It's such a big undertaking to try and make a body pile of hundreds of horses and dead people, and also hydraulic horses' legs that kicked out so that the thing had some life. I needed it to fit into the story, and what we ended up doing is using it as this obstacle by which the Stark army could not get past without going over it, and as they went over it, they would be shot down by the Bolton army. The Battle of Cannae, which was this pincer movement of horses that literally crushed the Romans into a hole so that they couldn't get out and they died. And so we took both of those ideas and applied them to Bob. Limitations are everything. Actually, they're kind of what makes things interesting and makes you creative. For example, we couldn't put horses. What we had to do is come up with some impassable object that created crush. And so that's where the shields came in, and the Bolton sign is that upside-down flayed man, and once you put a bunch of shields with that red cross against a black background, it became very graphic. And we went off script a little bit where we had John almost drown under a stampede of people. And it was kind of great because it was just this thing where he was being almost killed by his own men, not on purpose, but just in this wave of fear that kind of overcomes everyone as they try to get out of the way of this incoming wall of shields. When we first walked down into the rehearsals and we saw this guy swearing and insulting all of our extras, and we thought, oh, no one's going to come back tomorrow.
Shield man, I'm looking right at you. Hold that fucking pike there, please.
He was incredibly well liked and respected, in spite of the fact that he would insult everybody at some point or other in the meanest possible way.
I know you're mental, but I need you to move at the same time, fellas.
It's amazing the difference that makes when you have the military advisors there, because they help move everything along. You then also have to multiply them in a way that the visual effects guys can actually take 100 guys here and 100 guys here, and then put another 100 guys here, another 100 guys there. You have to film of that. So a lot of time was actually spent in prep, teaching these 600 extras to move swiftly from one block to another so that we could do the tiling efficiently. The only direction I gave to Kit was he's not a human anymore. He doesn't feel any empathy for this guy. We actually spent an entire day, 10 hours, with Kit on top of Ewan, beating him. And I just shot it from every single angle I possibly could. For Sansa and Ramsay, performance-wise, it's a very important scene for these two different characters to be doing. They end up playing it incredibly solitary versions of the scene where neither of them give each other anything. These two characters loathe each other in a way that made the death more frightening and more grim. Kit said the great things about season 6 is you see a lot of good people do bad things. I think so much of the way that this show works, which I actually really enjoy and is unique, is that even though you're doing their story, you get to pitch your version of how to do it and bring part of you to it.